What's up guys, Braden McPhee here, back for another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be taking y'all through a full day of eating on my lean bulk. I'm currently at 3,300 calories and I'm finishing out the bulk here in about a week, so I figured this would be the perfect time to show y'all the meals that I've been eating to gain tons of muscle throughout this lean bulking period. I usually wake up at around 4:30 and have my first meal and then go to the gym, but I'm recovering from a trip to Puerto Rico, so it's currently 8:07, getting a late start on the day, but I'm gonna get my pre-workout meal ready. It's gonna be very carb heavy to fuel me throughout that workout, so we'll get right into that. Alright guys, so with my first meal being my pre-workout meal, I like to get carbs from multiple different sources. My first one's going to be this sourdough bread. I put honey on that, and then I also do a little bit of protein from this yogurt. It's just this Fage yogurt. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor, so I like to add fruit and honey to it. And the fruit and honey are going to be my second carb sources, so that's going to help fuel me throughout the workout. I don't like to have a lot of fats because those are slow digesting and it's going to keep you full throughout the workout, so I don't really like to be super full while I'm working out, so I keep the fats super low. Alright, so with my sourdough bread, I just throw it in this little Ninja toaster. Cooks it like perfect, so let that cook up in there, and then in the meantime I'll make the yogurt with fruit and honey. Alright, to get in around 4 to 5 meals a day, I aim for around 600 to 700 calories each meal. And this bread is going to be 70 calories a slice. And then this yogurt is pretty much all protein, 18 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs, 90 calories. I really like kiwis because they're very nutrient dense, so it's going to help you hit all your vitamin and mineral goals for the day. Alright, so all I do is throw 1 serving of yogurt in this bowl, throw the kiwis on top, and then put 1 serving of honey just for the extra carbs. And then with the toast, I'm only going to put 1 serving of honey on that as well. And then that'll be it for meal 1. Alright guys, this is the meal that I typically have for breakfast throughout the week at 4:30 in the morning. So it's a lighter meal. I'm not super hungry in the mornings, and I don't like to be insanely full when I work out, like I said, so I keep it pretty light. Today, since it's already later in the day, I'm going to add in this extra banana because I need to get in some more calories, so I'm not shoving everything towards the end of the day. But I'm about to head out to the gym, so I'm going to get my pre-workout going. This is the Dethroner by Echo Vision. Really liking it. It gives super good pumps, so get that mixed up. Only thing is it doesn't have any creatine in it. So if y'all are taking creatine, you're going to have to add in some additional creatine, which I don't mind because I already have this one by NutriCost Performance. I really like this one as well. It's not like super grainy, so it mixes up well. I do 1 scoop of the creatine to hit my 5 grams for the day, and then 1 scoop of this Dethroner pre-workout, 160 milligrams of caffeine. This also has beta-alanine, so if you don't like that itchy feeling, this is probably not the pre-workout for you. I've also been doing a half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt for the workouts. That really helps out with the pumps. If you've never tried that, you need to try that out. I'm gonna get all this down and then head out to the gym, so I'll catch y'all then. Alright guys, I was headed out to the gym and I made a quick stop at Starbucks to get that Grande Pumpkin Cream Cold Brew. This is the best drink at Starbucks. If y'all haven't tried it, you gotta give it a shot. They only have it like 3 months out of the year, but it's straight fire. This is my favorite drink. This is like pretty much the only time I go to Starbucks. Other than that, all I drink is pretty much like White Monsters or Ghost energy drinks, and then my pre-workout. So I'm gonna give this a quick taste test. That's fire. It's super sweet. You could tell it's like pretty much all sugar, but it's only gonna help with the pump. So gonna get this down, drink that pre-workout, and then hit the gym, and I'll catch y'all after for my post-workout meal. So, all right guys, just finished that workout. It was a push day. It's actually the one I showed in the last video with the lower volume stuff. I'm still doing that and continuously progressing in the gym. So almost every 1 to 2 weeks, I'm upping the intensity either by increasing the reps or upping the weight. I've seen the most progression probably in my leg days. So that's been helping a ton with growing the legs, just lowering the volume and letting them recover more. But I'll be switching into the cut soon, so I don't think I'm gonna be making as much progression, but hopefully I can keep the muscle that I've put on. I think I've put on around like 3 or 4 pounds, and this is the heaviest I've ever been at 187. So I'm really happy with how my body's looking right now at 187, because whenever I bulked a couple years back and got up to around 182, I was looking really chubby, like even in the face, like super chubby in the cheeks. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, and I think I'm starting out the cut in a good place. I'm gonna try and finish out the cut pretty quick because I'm thinking about going back into a lean bulk after that. So we'll see, I'll keep y'all updated on that. But for the post-workout meal, I typically have a protein bar. I just grab one from the store and try out different ones. But today I've been really liking the Bear Bells, this one right here. But it's 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. I usually hit the gym and then go straight to work after that. So these are really nice, just having something on the go with protein. But today I'll be heading home and I'm gonna edit one of my other videos because it's a Saturday. It's currently 11:46, so I'm gonna get this down, and I'll probably have another meal once I get back home. So I'll show y'all that. We're currently at around 900 calories for the day and 95 grams of carbs from all that sugar in the coffee, but it definitely helped with the pump in the gym. I'll show y'all some pictures. I'll flash them up on the screen. I will catch y'all for the next meal when I get back home. All right guys, I got back from the gym and it's now 1:30, so it's been about an hour since I had my post-workout meal. But now I'm gonna get some fats in with these tacos. It's just a Las Palapas barbacoa with some guac in it. And then this one is a carne asada from Bill Miller's. So I'm gonna get those down. I also forgot to mention, I have this jug with me throughout the day, and I drink about 2 of these. It amounts up to like a gallon or 2 throughout the day. So I drink a ton of water. And in the mornings, I also have a multivitamin to make sure that I'm getting all my vitamins throughout the day if I'm not getting them from my food. But most of the time with 3,300 calories, you're gonna be getting in your vitamins. It's mainly when you lower your calories, you have to make sure you're getting a lot of nutrient dense foods because your calories are super low. So every single food that you eat is mainly gonna be fruits, vegetables, meats, and yogurts, things like that are super high in vitamins and minerals. When you're in a lean bulk, you can have some meals that are slightly off the plan. Not everything has to be super clean because you're eating so many calories that you're bound to hit your vitamin and mineral goals for the day. And as long as the majority of your calories come from whole foods and clean proteins, you're going to build muscle. So you can have some foods that you like throughout the day. As long as you keep it to 10 to 20% of your calories, you're still going to build muscle and recover well. This is going to be that 10 to 15% that I was talking about for me. It's still pretty healthy. You got the protein from the barbacoa and carne, and then the healthy fats from the guac. So I'm gonna eat this, and then I'll probably have another meal in about 2 to 3 hours, depending. So I'll catch y'all for that 4th meal. All right guys, I've been editing for like the past 2 hours. So it's currently 3:15, and I'm gonna go get a haircut, get my dreads cut a little bit. No, just a little trim. So I'm gonna go get that done. It's gonna take about an hour, and then I'll head back home. It'll probably be like 5 o'clock by then. So I'm gonna have to smash some calories when I get back home. Sometimes it just ends up like that, to where a lot of your calories are gonna be placed at the end of the day, but it's not gonna matter. As long as you get those calories in is all that matters. So make sure you're eating the right amount of calories throughout the day. And one thing I want to mention with those tacos, if y'all want to calculate calories on something like that, I recommend splitting up the taco from the toppings, such as like the guac on the top. I'll get the calories from MyFitnessPal for the barbacoa taco, and then I'll also get calories for guac, and I can just eyeball how much guac they put on the taco. So I'll separate those up and calculate the calories separately, and then throw that into MyFitnessPal, and I feel like it's more accurate that way. So it might be harder for some of y'all first starting out counting calories, because I've been counting calories for about 7 years now, so it's been a while, and it gets easier as you go. So don't stress it if you're first starting out, but you'll continuously get better as time goes on. All right, I'm about to be late to my appointment, so I'm gonna get going, but I'll catch y'all after. All right, guys, just got done with the haircut. I got like an 1.5 inches taken off, so it's a lot shorter, but I like it. It doesn't get in my eyes as much. So I'm gonna drive home, and I just got some elk meat from the store, so I'm really excited to try that out. I've tried bison before as well as deer meat, but never tried elk, so I'm super excited for that. It's pretty lean, so I'm probably gonna eat that with some form of carb and then a veggie. I always do that for each of my meals. I try to have a fat source, a protein source, and a carb, so the meal is well balanced. But usually before my workouts, I'll have more of a carb heavy meal with a little bit of protein, and then get my fats with my meals later throughout the day. But I'm gonna get driving back home, and I'll show y'all what I put together when I get back. All right, guys, I just got back. I'm gonna cook up this elk. It's 25 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. So I'm gonna be getting a little fat there. And then my carbs from this basmati rice and a little bit of mixed vegetables. I'm just gonna cook this up in a pan with some olive oil and pink Himalayan sea salt, because I wanna see what the flavor's like. So I'm gonna give that a test and show you when it's done. Alright, I just got done cooking up that last meal. If y'all didn't see, it's a massive plate of food. And I added some sriracha mayo to the ground elk because it's pretty gamey, so I wanted to give it a little different flavor. I just added that. It's 120 calories for the sriracha mayo. It's just gonna add in a little bit more fat to the meal. And while I was cooking that up, I had these True Fruit chocolate covered cherries. They're pretty good. It's like $8 for this whole pack, so it's pretty expensive. But it's 90 calories for 3 to 4 of them. So these are really good if you need to get some quick calories in. I had, like I said, 8 of them. So that's going to put me at 180 calories with that. And on the day, I'll have about 300 to 400 left. So I'll be having one more meal as my 5th meal before I go to bed. But right now, I'm going to get this down, and I'll catch y'all for that 5th. All right, guys, I went ahead and fixed up meal number 5. This is it right here. It's just some sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. So anytime I'm short on carbs or need some quick carbs, I'll just make some of this and throw some sugar-free jelly on it. That's actually what I did tonight. This is sugar-free strawberry jelly. And then I have some yogurt over here. This is the Fage yogurt with 170 grams of blackberries. And then I drizzled some honey on the top. I was pretty low on carbs for the day, and then I needed a little more protein. So this is what I fixed up for tonight, and that's gonna help keep me full throughout the night. if you're starting a lean bulk and you're trying to plan out your diet, the first thing you're going to want to do is get protein in each of your 4 to 5 meals throughout the day. Just equally space it out so that you're getting protein synthesis at all times throughout the day. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is have the majority of your carbs right before your workout from different sources. I like to do honey because it absorbs really quick, and I typically go to the gym within like 30 minutes to an hour of eating. So I do honey, sourdough bread, any kind of bread, and then some fruit. And then make sure you're getting in your fruits and vegetables throughout the day. I typically have some mixed vegetables at lunch and then fruits throughout the day, just dispersed. Fruits are one of my primary carb sources because they keep you full and they have a lot of good health benefits such as vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So I like to incorporate a lot of kiwis, blackberries, raspberries, bananas. Next tip is make sure you're hitting your macro targets. So I typically like to keep my fats and protein pretty high just to keep my hormones balanced with the fats and then get the protein synthesis from the protein. So I do a split of 25% fat, 30% protein, and then 45% carbs, but that can fluctuate a little bit from day to day. I'm not insanely strict with it. So if I'm off by like 5 to 10 grams, I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I try to hit those goals as much as possible. And typically for dinner, I'll just fill in whatever macro that I need. So if I'm low on carbs, I'll have bread like I did tonight. And then if I need some protein and some fat, I'll have cottage cheese. We're ending out the day on 3,360 calories. So that's perfect, right in the range of where I wanted to be, 3,300 to 3,400 calories. We're at 196 protein, 371 carbs, and 119 grams of fat. So that was pretty much how my weekends go. I'm kind of flexible with it on the weekends, and then once it gets into my weekdays, I have my meal preps. I hope y'all enjoyed this full day of eating on the lean bulk. If you have any questions about any of the meals or anything I said, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be starting out the cut here in a couple days, so my diet is going to switch up just a little bit. Typically, I switch out my carb sources for things with more fiber, such as the rice that I had. I might have a sweet potato or some fruit. So I'll be showing y'all that in a future video. So let me know down in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to see in the upcoming videos or any questions you have about cutting, lean bulking, or anything fitness related. I appreciate y'all watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.